Good morning. Welcome to Messy Missy Creates. This is Melissa. I am back with another Inspired to Create challenge. This is week 3 of June of 2023. And this is the page it will eventually land on. I don't think I'm going to create it actually directly in the book. I think I'm going to create it outside and then attach it somehow into the book, but I thought I'd show you that. And I'm still loving my lemons and my bright yellow and bright turquoise. But so for now, I'm going to set that aside because I am going to be playing with some paints and watercolor, I think. Here are, the word for the week is beach, keeping in the summer theme because here it's summer. I asked this week, this is a week where we ask another friend. Sometimes it's been a non-crafty friend. And, but this week I've asked Lydia at February and June. Let me write that. Let me write it in something you can actually see. Oops. Well, February and June. Okay, hopefully you can read that. I had to figure out how to spell it. My mind went blank. Anyway, so this week, and I hope you can read my handwriting because it's pretty bad. But our word is beach, and you know we take each letter and we use that as a prompt launch, a launching point to come up with a set of prompts to make a page. And so for this week, I asked Lydia at February and June, and these are the prompts that she gave me. Bird, B is bird, E, embroidery, A, aqua, C, crayons, and H, hidden. So my mind automatically went to Crayola, crayons, and this bird, I got it out of my art journal. I was going to see if I could find the original. I printed a picture. This is a bird I drew several years ago in a class with Dina Wakely. And let me look real quick, see if I can find the original in my art journal somewhere. Well, here's another bird. Here's the sketch I drew for the bird before we, that was another bird. This was the sketch I drew before we painted it. Let's see if I can find, these were just backgrounds we were playing with. Yeah, that was another page we made. Well, I took several classes from her. I think it was summer of 2020. We did a lot of backgrounds. I love this one. And, well, I thought Mr. Birdie was in here somewhere. Those were my grandbabies, my grandpuppies. This was Coda. She has passed away now. But this is my little Rory. Rory has her own Instagram. It's called Loopin' with Rory. All fun facts that you didn't bargain for when you logged on to this page. Anyway, it's not that important. I just thought I would find. But you saw the sketch. One day I guess I need to give you a tour through my art journal pages. And this is one of them. I did this one with, it was a lesson by Karen Campbell, artist Karen Campbell, at Awesome Art School. Okay, so at least I found the sketch. You could see it. It was my work. And, I mean, based on a tutorial from Dina Wakely. So anyway, then I was thinking for hidden and the crayons, it seems like we used to do this thing with like a white crayon. I know we used to dye Easter eggs this way. You'd write the name in like a white crayon, and then when you dye the egg, the crayon resists the ink or stain or paint. I don't know if it resists acrylic paint, but anyway, so that was where my brain went first. Oops, I left out a bird. Anyway, and then aqua, this bird had aqua in it already, but an embroidery thread, I have this, and crayons. I have, oh, it's right here. Let's see. I have some papers just in case I need some extra paper. And I have these crayons just in case I don't use those, or in addition to, I had just gotten this ribbon from Dollar General, and it's crayons. And I thought, oh wow, what a great excuse to use it. You know, I've only had it a couple days, so you know you have to kind of sit on supplies for a little while before you actually use them. Do you do that too? Yeah, I think that covers all of the prompts. So now it's just a matter of in which order and how we're going to use them. I have some cheap watercolor paper. It is just Hobby Lobby grade. It's too big, but it's 8x8, I think. So I had a small pack of it. I used to always get these when they were half off. This one is too small. So, because I think I want this behind the bird. This is just printer paper because I printed off my picture of the bird. So I may back it with this paper right here, or one of these two papers. So I'm going to set that to the side. But I think this is where I'm going to try to do the resist. If that doesn't work, my other thought is when I have the bird, now I will cut this paper down to fit in the journal. But what I'd like to do is my writing with my crayon on the back, maybe put some watercolor down. Hopefully that resist will work. I haven't tried it with watercolor. But, or ink. Oh, I was going to use my inks too. Or maybe use the inks. But anyway, I was thinking, and I may have cut it down too short, but I was thinking of attaching it with embroidery thread. I'm not at the point. I thought about stitching around the bird with my embroidery thread, but I really don't want to do that. And I don't think my hand is still ready for actual embroidery. I thought about, I have some, what do they call this, Ada cloth? You know, cross stitch fabric. I don't know if it's the same as embroidery fabric, but I would think it is. I have that just in case I need backup. I have this in case I need some kind of fabric to attach that kind of fits in the color scheme. I thought about sewing the bird onto, or sewing the fabric onto something, or I don't know, my mind just kind of went all different directions. But with the limitations of my hand and with that hidden, something needs to be hidden. So I mean, you could always do a pocket, you could do an envelope, you could do whatever. I was trying to do something a little different than that. So I was thinking if I put 2 holes in, and of course I don't have my hole puncher handy, but if I put 2 holes in, I could attach this and the writing in the back would be hidden. That's kind of my thought process. So let's see how this works. That's all going to depend on how this part of this works. Let me get my silicone background here. Change background colors on you for a second. All right, Mr. Rabbit, hold it down for me. See my, oop, I dropped him. See my little bunny? He doesn't have a name yet, if you want to name him. But he does a good job of holding down my papers and my backgrounds and things like that. See, I have my crayon. I have a white crayon. It doesn't have to be white. Well, can't get it out. Okay, here we go. Doesn't have to be white, but if you want it to be hidden, I mean, I guess it will reveal itself either way. So now the question is, what do we write? I don't know that I really want to write legible words. I think I'm just going to do some scribble. I think I'm going to do it maybe in a diagonal form. No, I'm going to do it this way because I probably will have to cut down the sides just to make it fit in the journal, unless I fold it over. But this is thick. This is watercolor paper. So I'm just going to write, but it's not going to be legible. So there once was a bird. What else do you want it to say? Just FYI, I almost used this bird image because Are You My Mother was my favorite book as a child, and I love that bird. Okay, I don't think I'm writing real words anymore. Okay, that should be good enough. There. I have never colored on water paper before. Now, I could have used a watercolor crayon, but then it wouldn't have resisted. So as of right now, this is hidden journaling. Let's call it hidden journaling. So here are my options. Well, here I have lots of options when it comes to watercolor. I actually was planning on using, what did I do with it? I have a new, kind of like this, but it's aqua, it's right here. I have this, it's watercolor gels. Oh, it's acrylic paint though. Yeah, it's translucent acrylic paint. I better not use that. I have regular watercolor. I have blue. I was looking for something that will, oh, I might want to go with green. What do we think about this lime green? It's called Parrot. I guess that's appropriate, huh? Let's try this lime green. We can mix. I have other colors in here. You can tell how much I use them. I have other watercolors that are like, you know, just these little cheap sets. And there's some pretty colors in there. These are real chalky. So let me use, oh, here's the other bird. This is the bird from Are You My Mother? The baby bird, you know, he went off looking for his mother. Turns out she was just going to get him food. But when he woke up or hatched, he realized that his mama bird was gone. So I have some old watercolor brushes. They were not good watercolor brushes, but I'm going to use them for this. And I also have this wide, it's not a watercolor brush, it's just an acrylic. But just in case I need like, because like what I'll do is a wash. Let me take this out. And this is the color I'm going for, this Parrot color. So I'm going to do kind of a wash. If I can get this and not bump all my lights and cords and cameras and all the things. There we go. All right. Trying to get situated. I don't normally paint in here. So let's get a little bit of a wash down. So, oh, I can already see. Okay. I can already see the resist, the words coming up. So let's drop some color in here. So we're just going to drop in color, and it's going to be really wet. That's okay. Kind of want it that way. Oh, so I was fun. I actually saw some people this week that actually used our prompts. The same prompt. Well, the prompts that I did last week that Allison had given me. There were a couple people that actually used our prompts. This would be a fun one for you to try. It can be loosely interpreted. It can be, you know, it could be, in other words, it's not specific. Some things, some prompts that we use are very specific to the items that we have. You know, you can draw a bird, you can print a bird off the internet. You know, it's not as specific. I think I'm gonna bring in a little bit of this teal over here. That was a greener teal than I really thought I would use. But see, you can really, because the darker color, you can see the resist better. But see how that crayon resists? So we have some hidden journaling. Well, let me get this a little more watered down. I'm using an awful lot of color here. Oop. Oh no, that was not what I meant to do. I mixed my parrot and my island together. It's all right, it made it pretty green. So, that's all I'm doing on this, and then it'll take a little while to dry, which is fine. It's, I can work on the rest of it, I think. I'm trying to drop in color. I'm trying to do it randomly, but I don't always do random really well. And I'm going to do this and let it run. And you can kind of see the resist happening. I have lots of water on it. And see all those colors kind of merge together. I am not a watercolor artist. I like to play with watercolors. It's one of the art supplies that has beat me. And I don't, yeah, it has been quite a challenge for me to try to learn how to use it in a controlled setting. All right. So I'm going to, you know, when I was drawing faces and things like that, I was trying to use watercolor. You know, I am part of the Karen Campbell's Awesome Art School, and she does, you know, some of the watercolor. She uses a lot of different mediums. I'm almost tempted to put some of this blue in here. She uses a lot of different mediums, and so it's, you know, it's fun to try different things here and there. It definitely, I love the look of watercolor, but it doesn't move for me like, you know, I see it move for other people. Now, some of that is not having quality brushes. Some of that is, watercolor is one of those things where your brush makes a difference and your paper makes a difference. And then being able to leave it alone and not do what I'm doing right now. You know, not overworking it. So let me let this dry. And yeah, and not overwork it. But you can see, hopefully you can see the resist, the writing behind there. So that was what I thought of initially for hidden. And so I wanted to give that a try. And let me see if I have Looking for a paper towel here. I don't really want to, I don't want to blot it off. I thought about letting some of the ink run off the page like that. I love the natural stops and starts of the watercolor. Anyway, so yeah, it's hard for me to leave it alone at this point. That's part of my dilemma with watercolor, because I want to control it and it wants to control itself. So we have a battle of the wills. Okay, so let me put this where I'm not going to spill all my water. No, I don't know where that is exactly. And let's just gonna put back my other watercolor. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna make a lot of noise trying to do it though. Okay, so while this dries and I leave it alone, smack my hand if I touch it again. Let's see what let's thread our needle, and see. I want to cut down the paper, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Now, I have a darker blue. Oh, this was my aqua. That's what it was. I think that will be enough. So I'm thinking that if I, let's see, thread the needle like you said you were going to, that will keep my hands occupied so I don't touch this watercolor background again. I'm going to try not to get out my dryer because I don't think I have it in here anyway. I think I used it to dry my nails the other day. And by the way, if you do that, it hurts. Just thought I'd tell you that. If you get it too close, it hurts. So what I'm thinking is that now I don't like this color on there. So not real fond of that one. I love how this is blending together. It's drying on its own. It doesn't need my help. Thinking that, okay, I did touch it. I'm sorry. Sorry, little bird. That's pretty though. I'm trying to think, do I want to cut the bird out and put it on another piece of paper? And then, because I didn't want to sew this into my journal because then it would be punched through to the next page. Does that make sense? So I thought if I stitch this onto here, of course, you know what? I don't have to sew it onto anything. I could just kind of ravel it up and it would almost be like a little bird's nest. I could do that. But I was thinking to make this hidden, I would sew it on, you know, and have a little bow right here. But I want to back this because it's very thin. So let me see. I thought I was going to like this blue until I used all the green for the background. Let me see what else I have while I'm waiting for that to dry. I have some green paper. Do I have any teal? No, I had teal. I have this color green. That may be too dark. It's more something, it's bolder than I wanted. Let's see. I might have to go back and add, I don't know, that's a good contrast though. I might use that. Do I want to cut the bird out? I kind of like it like this with just a little border around it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And maybe it won't look bad on that. Let's try this. Because sometimes a bold color in a smaller dose is not as bad. Okay, so I do kind of like that. So let me cut down my paper. I'm not touching this other than I'm just going to set it to the side and let it finish drying. Set it right under that ceiling fan. So, alrighty. And I need to move this water off the table. Pardon my all my maneuvering. Okay. I actually went ahead and walked that right into that little bathroom that's right outside the door so that it definitely does not spill, because I could see that spilling all over my journal. I'm going to start with this. And well, I really like that though. It just really doesn't match anymore, but let me try this. I can always try something different later, but it really brings out the blue in the bird, I think. So I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to whack it. Just gonna whack it. I am gonna try to do it straight though. Let's see. All right, that might work. Okay, sink the blade. My blade must be getting dull. Darn it. Okay. See how it tore the paper right there? What? Turn the paper, not the paper cutter. Duh. I'm going to leave a little bit extra at the top, I think. Just in case I have to sew it there and not here. Because I have a feeling I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to leave a good bit extra at the top. And maybe make like a little hinge. Yeah, let's give it a little bit more room. I can always cut more off. It's hard to add more back. Okay, so when your blade is getting duller, you have real thin paper. If you sink it down into the paper and then go in both directions, it doesn't tear as easily. I'm not going to say it won't. It just won't tear as easily. Okay, because this is what I'm thinking. And I would just glue the bird right down to this paper and then put my holes right here. And then I have that thread and I have all the colors in the bird and then the greenish background. May not look as good as I imagined in my head, but it might be good enough. This is just play and it's art and it's, you know, I got to play with paint today. I mean, come on, and crayons. So what better day do you get? I mean, when you get to play with crayons and paint and glue. Okay, still not quite dry. And I'm still gonna make this work, I think. Because I do like the blue. I'm gonna offset it because I want a little bit of this to show. So this might be the edge that I cut or fold. Here we go. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to glue the bird down, let this finish drying a little bit. And then I'll find my hole punch. And I'll sew it. No, I got to have the paper, the paint dry for that. All right, birdie. You getting a... He's been just hidden in my art journal all this time. So you're getting the limelight here. Or the spotlight. Here we go. Alrighty. You know what I could use? Although this is my aqua. I was going to say I could use green embroidery thread. I mean, I have aqua in the bird. I don't have aqua in my paint. No, I'm going to stick with this. I already have it cut. I already have it threaded. I'm not rethreading it. And then my ceiling fan is not drying this as fast as I would like. It had a good bit of water on it. I do not have my... Yes, I do. I wasn't sure if I had my heat gun in here, but I do. Okay. All right, watch your ears for just a minute. I'm going to try to bring it away from the camera a little bit so it doesn't hurt your ears. It's drying pretty quickly. I don't want to over dry it. Hopefully that's not too loud in your ear. And if you dry the back, sometimes it'll keep it from curling a little bit. See how it's uncurling the paper? And now it's curling it again. So it'll uncurl. It's just drying both sides. Let's see. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I was thinking I was going to get away with not having to use my dryer, but okay. It did curl a good bit. I'm kind of surprised considering it's watercolor paper. Okay. In a perfect world, I would lay that flat. This is the side I want to use, so this is the side I want to be flat. Because I want it right there so that that color pokes through a little bit. Let's get the journal back out. Here we go. And let's see how this is going to fit. No, I definitely don't want it on the page. I really don't want this folded in here. Well, I could do the writing upside down. No, because then I'd be cutting this off. Okay, so, well, I'm just going to have to hide that teal because this is going to have to be cut off. Oh, my bird is upside down. Okay. So this is about, let me get my pencil so I know about where to, I can let it stick out a little bit. I have plenty of room outside my journal, or, you know, out from my pages to my cover. So let's lob this off. It'll cut some of the curl off too. In an ideal world, you would, you know, take the stuff off your desk and lay it flat, but, you know, I don't live in that world too much. Okay. And then this will go in my collage bucket. Let's see how that's going to lay. I think that's going to be perfect. So, if I put this, because I could tip it in if I wanted to. I could tip it in, but I might attach it later. I think it does depend on where I put the bird, if that makes sense. If I'm going to attach it flat to this page, I like the bird. Well, it doesn't help that I cut it outside of the... I really should have cut the paper before. Because see how this is a natural edge and that's a whacked off edge? Oh, I have an idea. Yeah. No, I know, I remember. My ribbon. Oh, where did you go, ribbon? My ribbon is going to run, I was going to run it down the bottom, but I could run the ribbon like that, and you won't even notice that edge. So, let's get the colors that we want on here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, so you know what? I don't even think I'm going to punch holes in this. I think I'm going to eyeball this right here and here. And if I'm, well, let's punch it through here. I have an awl right here. Oh, I have a pokey tool, but I have a pretty large needle too, so kind of, ow! Oh, it got me. Okay. Use the pokey tool next time. Blood is not an art supply. I did that wrong. Let's try it this way. I knew it when I did it. I knew it when I did it. Let's see. All right, glasses would help. I need new glasses, y'all. I don't wear them all the time, and I'm supposed to, but I haven't been able to see out of the glasses that I have. So I finally went to the eye doctor, but it's been like 3 weeks, and I still haven't gone anywhere to get my glasses yet. I know. I can't. There's not a place. The place that I want to get them, I can't drive myself to, so I have to wait for my husband to be able to take me during work time. So sometimes that's a little more challenging, you know, than after hours or whatever. I think I'm probably going to regret not knotting that, but I can double tie it if I need to. Let's see. I can always put a little drop of glue there, make sure that doesn't come untied, you know. But I think a double knot will work, or a double tie. Yeah. Just wanted it loose. And so here is all my hidden writing. And I'm going to glue it in like that. And I'm going to cut this ribbon down to about here. Maybe straight, maybe not. And then I was going to try to fit like just whole crayons on there, but that's not quite going to work, so it'll be all right. Let's scoot it down, and I think that will work. And then that'll be a neat, I'll be able to see it with my book closed, you know. I think that'll work. All right, let's get some, we're just going to use art glitter glue. Let me run a bead down here. And hopefully that will hold. If not, I'll get out the stinky glue. By stinky glue, I'm referring to Fabri-Tac or Fabrifix or whatever, but this should hold just fine. Let's see. Well, I might come back and add another little bead under there. I just want it to get it on. Uh-oh. Well, never mind. It's on there now, so. Okay. So, I may not have trimmed off enough, but if I put it in my journal like that, definitely going to see that. And that does stick out past my my journal cover, but that's okay. It adds some whatever. I do wish I'd cut it just a hair more, because I wasn't thinking about needing to put it or away from the spine a little bit. So I'm not going to attach it in just yet, but oh, I have something else. You know, my label maker, I'm going to put it down here. Now, when I did this green, I didn't know I was going to do green paint. So, my label maker, I did not even know that they made different color label tape for it until I saw, I mean, I had the thought about using these for words in my journal. This is the label maker that I labeled all my pockets and my baskets and stuff with. But then I saw Lydia at February and June. I saw her with colored tape. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that. So I ordered some. And I got this kind of mint green, or not mint green, lime green and pink and 2 shades of teal. And anyway, here's my inspired to create. Oh, I forgot to put the hashtag. It doesn't have a lot of the symbols like the underscore, but you get the idea. And so let me see. Let me look at the prompts and see if I have everything on here. So I have bird, I have embroidery, thread, I have aqua. I have aqua in a couple different places. I used crayons here and in the hidden text. And then I have hidden text. See my hidden text? Or my hidden script. You can't read it, but it's hidden. So that was kind of my translation of these. And I need to write them legibly and then attach them maybe here. So I'll put them on like a cute piece of paper and try to write them in my neatest handwriting. Or I might type them up. That might work. My handwriting is still really bad. But these were prompts. Again, if you missed the very first part, my prompts this week. I asked Lydia at February and June to give me my prompts. This is the 3rd week of the month, and Allison at AJ's Inspired Life and we usually ask someone outside of, well, it's been a friend. So we've asked a friend, not each other. So the first couple times we did it, well, first time we asked our husbands, the second time, I don't remember if we might have asked our daughters. One time, then we've gone to like non-crafty friends, and I told her I was running out of friends to ask that I trusted. And because I've gotten some really, really hard prompts lately, and like dig in the dirt kind of prompts, but they've been fun and challenging, and I have risen to the occasion, and I'm proud of myself for that, because this was kind of new territory for me, and it was kind of scary. So I'm really glad that it has expanded my boundaries of my creativity and gotten me to use some supplies that I either don't use a lot and wish I used more, or things that I never would have thought to use in an art piece or a journal setting. And so this has been really, really fun. And I don't know what Allison's going to do this week. I don't know who she asked, so stay tuned. And if you haven't already watched her video, go watch it now. I'll leave her link in the description, and I will leave Lydia's link in the description as well, again, at February and June. And these are, again, my prompts for this week, and I thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. I love reading all of your comments. I try to get back to you as quick as I can. Sometimes it takes me several days. But I do appreciate you all. And thank you so much for following along and all the support. And I can't wait to see what you make with us. You have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.